Russell Crowe, Naomi Watts, Guy Pearce, Nicole Kidman.
Bill, what's up?
When you hear these names, Erin, what do you think? What are the first things that come to mind?
Australian.
Yes.
Actors.
Got it.
Really hot.
Good-looking people, right?
Yeah.
So what the hell, when you see an Australian-made film, do you see these wonderful-looking actors paired next to inbreds and blind people and guys that walk with wooden legs that can't that speak like that, like gargled and drunk?
I don't know. That's really interesting. I mean, if you do look at Australian cinema versus American cinema, like, there's some freakish-looking extras in those movies.
I mean, weird-looking motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Right? Do you think like they put an ad in the trade paper and they say, hey, listen, we're doing this big budget Australian film. We would listen, if your uncle and your sister are your parents, come down and
or your brother and your sister.
Yeah.
Your brother and your sister.
Right.
That might be true and we'd have to look into that, but that might explain how they did some of the casting for the film we're going to review, The Rover.
Oh, definitely.
A decade after global economic collapse, a hardened and callous drifter tries to track down the men who stole his last possession. And on his mission, he encounters the vulnerable younger brother of one of the thieves and takes him along as his unwitting accomplice.
It's that dude from Twilight.
Robert Pattinson, The Rover.
Pattinson.
Shut up! The Rover,
Don't
directed by David
up.
Michod, starring Guy Pearce, Robert Pattinson, and Scoot McNairy.
Scoot McNairy.
Yeah, so what did you think of The Rover, Bill?
Scoot McNairy owes me $5.
I love saying Scoot.
I need it, brother. Give me the fucking money back.
All right,
or
Bill.
I won't have to break your legs.
Focus.
Don Bill style.
Lasso in your ADD. What did you think of The Rover?
You know what, Erin? I like The Rover.
Really?
It has a singular, unique vision that stayed with me. Plot points and classic story structure is not what this film is about. And to its credit, it sticks to the world it has created. I like when a film creates a unique and singular vision, and that is The Rover's strongest asset, really, is the mood and tone of the film. The story was good. It was sparse. It was kind of more of a tone film than it was about classic plot points. I'm repeating myself, but that's what I enjoyed about the film.
Well, you are right in saying that the story was sparse. I mean, there's zero exposition to what the collapse was or what even caused it, which is fine. You know, you don't absolutely, and we're kind of just thrust into this world in that one moment in time. And albeit initially, it was an interesting and tense moment in time. I mean, there's the botched, violent robbery and the car crash and then the chase. But, I mean, this world that we're thrust into, it was a bit of a Mod Podge for me. I mean, we were left... A Mod Podge. We were left hanging. It's like, after a while, I just kind of felt myself wanting a little bit more of, who, what, why. So, like I said, I didn't really love the story, but... Bill, calm down, I'm talking. But what I did like were the performances. Guy Pearce is he's just a versatile actor. His emotions are deep-rooted, and he does amazing with dialogue that to me was minimal and sometimes repetitive. Mm-hmm. I'm looking for my car. It has 3 people in it. Have you seen it?
I haven't seen it
I'm looking for my car.
Yeah.
It has 3 men in it. Have you seen it? I'm looking for my car. It has 3 men in it. Have you seen it?
He actually does do that.
But I mean, his character is raw and uncompassionate, but somehow, just enough humanity seeps through, and you still find yourself rooting for him, even though you don't really know what he wants other than his car.
I want my car back.
Yeah, listen, Guy Pearce, the Australian landscape had nothing on Guy Pearce's face.
Oh, God, great.
And really, the director did a great job holding him in close-up. I really think Guy Pearce's performance is the best so far this year.
He's really do. He's wonderful.
He holds it all together. The first scene, he's kind of sitting in a car, and he's just there breathing, and kind of like there's this sense of dread and loss and anger in his face. All of it registers, and it just kind of sets the tone for the rest of the film. Robert Pattinson, what the is his name again? Pattinson, I'm sorry. I really, for the most part, didn't like his performance. I thought it was a little Sling Blade-ish with his dialogue and the French fry taters. Yeah, it kind of felt a little Sling Blade-ish to me.
What you got in there is good to eat.
But he actually gets stronger towards the end. He starts taking a love and a pride in his murder, and that was a surprise as well.
So where are you with direction? David Michod's direction.
David Michod, listen, the film is strong on atmosphere and mood. This dude clearly knows how to make a movie. It's hard for me to critique a film like this because the director he definitely made the movie he wanted to make without compromise. This is a complete vision. This is what's been lacking in some of the films we've been viewing in the last few weeks. It felt complete. I feel the director told the story he wanted to tell, and I give him major, major props for that.
I just didn't connect with this overall vision of which you speak. There wasn't enough for me, and I get that sometimes a director wants to be minimalist and less is more, but in this case, less was just less. The Erin element. look, I don't think I am missing some bigger picture about humanity's nastiness, its tragic beauty, or what the future may hold for us when I say that I would have liked a little more from the story. This is not a bad film. I'm not saying it's a bad film. I thought there were great performances here that could have been supported with a bit more premise and detail. And for that reason, I'm going to say wait for it. I mean, definitely Netflix it, but wait for it. And that's hard for me to say, folks.
Stop Bill Factor! Bill Factor time, laying it down puppet style. You know what? This was an odd thing. Walking out of the Rover, I wasn't particularly blown away by it. But the more I thought about it, and the more the images and the performances stayed with me, it really left an impact. That's a rare thing. I walked out, I said, okay, it was all right, it was good. But walking out of the theater, when the film digested, when I kept flashing back to certain scenes, when I kept flashing back to Guy Pearce's performance, it really stayed with me.
Was a great performance.
It really lingered and stayed with me, and that's the sign of a good film, so I cannot deny it. I'm going to choose to embrace what did work in The Rover, and there was a lot of it.
Never been done before,
folks! Pay for it. It's like you pick up the paper, and you're an inbred kid.
So do you think you would get cast?
Oh, good. I didn't see that coming. No, I had a mommy and a daddy, and I don't believe they were related.